What's going on, friends? Welcome back to another New World video. Today I wanted to talk about a bunch of different things, but for the start of the video I wanted to talk about the New World Aeternum TV show or TV series or episode. If you guys haven't heard, there is a anthology series called Secret Level, and they have a one-off episode on New World Aeternum. Now, we are going to do a little bit of spoilers for the show, so if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a link in the description down below. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. I'm not here to promote it. I just thought it would be relevant for my channel to talk about it, since we do a lot of New World content here. And if we get an episode on New World Aeternum, hey, kind of cool, right? So Secret Level is the series. It's an adult animated anthology series featuring original stories from blah, 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 blah. So it's based on different video games. Episode 3 is based on New World Aeternum, and that's what I got playing in the background here. Now, I can't watch the full video or, do too much on it because we're going to get DMCA'd, but I can briefly let you guys know what's going on. And like I say, I'm going to spoil the plot here and talk about my thoughts on it. So if you haven't seen it yet, spoiler warning. But yeah, we have the main character, which is Aeternum, and that's the guy that you meet when you first wash up on the beach in Aeternum. So flash some footage of him up on the screen here. But that's King Aeternum. The main character that we see in this TV series is King Aeternum. But that's kind of as far as it goes when it comes to characters from New World Aeternum. There's no Grace O'Malley, there's no Isabella, there's no Jonas. It's pretty much just Aeternum, and then he has his Stravala, I think is what he calls him. He has his like one-handed servant guy that follows him around, and he's kind of just a bit of a jerk to him. Now, Aeternum is voiced by Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is pretty interesting, but outside of that, I don't know. I didn't really think the plot was that great. It's like, again, it's like a really micro episode. It's only 10 minutes long. It's basically just Aeternum being a bit of a douche. So, you know, they lose the whole army. They wash up on the beach, but he wants to become king on Aeternum anyway. So he goes and challenges the king, and then the king kills him in a one-on-one duel. But he comes back to life because, you know, it's Aeternum and stuff. So if I just skip forward a little bit, you can see they die here, and then they come back again because, of course, you come back with the Azoth or whatever, and he realizes he's undying. So it's just a lot of him dying basically over and over again, which, hey, maybe that's a metaphor for us on New World Aeternum being a bit newbie. But in the end, he's a good guy. He gets his crown, but then he realizes, oh, I want to like help out my little friend. So he forges the crown into a prosthetic arm and then gives it to his buddy. And that's, you know, roll credits after that. So yeah, a bit of a nothing really. Maybe it promotes the show. Maybe somebody's going to discover New World Aeternum. I don't know how likely it is that somebody would want to play the game because they watched that episode. But hey, maybe I'm being overly critical on the New World Aeternum TV series. If you guys watched it, if you have some thoughts or whatever, if you found something in the show that you thought was cool that you like I didn't see or whatever, I recognize a few locations from like playing in the game. He does go up to Shattered Mountain or whatever and gets this cool corrupted armor, but spoilers, it doesn't really do anything. And I think he's like the place where he's challenging the king is Monarch's Bluff, and we have a fight over here as well, like on one of the starting beaches. But yeah, it just kind of felt like it was not really related to the show whatsoever, or that related to the game. It just happened to be in Aeternum, but it was a completely different sort of spin-off universe or whatever, where Arnie is the voice of Aeternum. One thing that might be interesting to you guys, though, to learn about, there is some Prime Gaming loot. So this doesn't happen very often these days, but they do have a Twitch Prime reward. So if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can connect it to your Twitch account. That will give you Twitch Prime. And then with Prime Gaming, you can get this full skin set here. Now, hopefully I'll be able to play some footage over the top. Right now, when I'm recording this video, the servers are down, which we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But you can get this full set of armor. So there's a chest, helmet, gloves, legs, boots. It's the same armor that we see in the show that Aeternum is wearing. It's a pretty cool looking set, in my opinion. I think it looks pretty awesome. So they call it the Corrupted King set. And like I say, full set of armor and a great axe as well. I'll put a link to this in the description down below if you want to go claim it. You will need to have Amazon Prime, like I say, and connect it to your... Actually, I don't even think you need to connect it to your Twitch account. But if you do have Amazon Prime and you do connect it to your Twitch account, you get Twitch Prime, which means you can subscribe to any stream for free on Twitch. And, you know, just so happens that I do have a stream on Twitch, so if you want to throw that my way, much appreciated. But nonetheless, it's a cool skin. It's only available until the 10th of January. So if you guys haven't already claimed that and you want to get yourself a cool skin in the game, It's technically free, again, as long as you have Amazon Prime, but that is available. One other thing that I wanted to talk about in this video was the latest update and just generally what's happening with New World Aeternum. I know some people tuning to these videos for some news and the latest and greatest in New World. I think, honestly, as we move towards Christmas, it is going to be a bit of a quiet period for the game. But the good news is, on January 15th, we do have a brand new server coming up. We've got the PvP Always On server. I'll get to that just a little bit, but that is pretty exciting. Another fresh start server with PvP always enabled. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it goes down. A lot of people saying it's going to be pretty toxic, but that's coming up later on. But to end out the year, basically, we have the Christmas event coming back. So the Winter Convergence is back in New World Aeternum. If you guys are playing on Xbox and PS5, this will be your first time experiencing the Winter Convergence. It's a pretty cool event. You can kind of break it down into 2 or 3 different things. So we'll go ahead and pop open the actual link to it here. So you have these winter villages. They're located in Weaver's Fen, Brightwood, Everfall, and Monarch's Bluff. You need to go to the Winter Convergence Village and talk to this guy over here. He will give you a quest. You do all of the quests, you get a bunch of event reputation, which will allow you to talk to the individual again, and he's a vendor, so he'll sell you items, and the more reputation you have, the more items you'll unlock. Now, in order to buy the items, you will need winter tokens. Winter tokens can be earned from a bunch of different ways in the game. So again, if you go to those villages, you want to be visiting all of them every day. Everfall, Monarchs, Windsward, Weaver's Fen, and Brightwood. If you go to those villages, there will be a bountiful gift sack. You want to loot the bountiful gift sack to get some tokens from there. You'll also get a bit of event reputation. You can interact with 3 trees of light. So there's a tree in the middle of every single town, a Christmas tree. You interact with that, you get some tokens from there, and again, more event reputation. And then additional stuff you can do, you can farm the Winter Warrior boss. So there's a boss that you can kill. It spawns in Great Cleave, or it spawns in Brimstone Sands, or it can spawn in Ebonscale. You probably want to have a big group to do this one. You just need to look for it on the map, and then you'd probably get yourself in a raid group, go around, farm it. You only get loot from it 3 times a day, so unless you need to farm it for the event reputation, which you might want to do on the first day, you want to grind out as much event reputation as you can, because the rewards are pretty good. We'll go over the rewards in a little bit, but you do want to get that max rep, and one of the fastest ways to do it is basically killing the boss over and over again. But you kill him 3 times a day for 15 dark matter on each kill, and you also get like a warrior's hail spike or something. And then finally, you can also go around and loot presents. You can find presents pretty much all over the map. You'll find presents on the side of the road, sometimes floating in the air, or you can go for Gleamite. This is one of my favorite things about the event. You have these meteors that fall from the sky, and they make a really cool noise. In fact, I'm just going to play a clip of one now. Oh my god. And you go and mine that stuff, it gives you Gleamite, and then again, with the Gleamite, or the presents, or the Warrior's Hail Spike, you can trade them in at the back of the Winter Village, and you can get winter tokens. So yeah, get Gleamites, or presents, or kill the Warrior Boss, or do all 3. Trade them in at the little caravan hut at the back, get yourself the tokens, and then go into the vendor. You go talk to the Winter Wanderer, whatever he's called, and you can buy stuff from that guy. I'll be flashing up some footage of what you can buy, like what the shop looks like on the screen here. But the most important thing to buy, in my opinion, is the chromatic seal. You can get 1 of these every 3 days. So the sooner you buy it, the sooner that 3-day cooldown will come back off and you can buy it again. You need chromatic seals to upgrade your artifacts and also your named items, so it's very important. There is an Azoth Inductor available for sale, but it crafts 700 gear score and it costs a lot of materials, so I don't know, maybe you want to consider doing that, but I personally don't think it's worth it. There's also pristine Gleamite you can buy as well. Now I'm going to show you guys on the website again because I don't currently have the game open, the servers are down right now, but with pristine Gleamite you can make these items over here. So we go ahead and take a look at these antlers. We can make ourselves a pair of 700 gear score, health, enchanted board, and luck, which unfortunate on that 3rd perk, luck. I just don't think, unless you're doing chest runs, you don't really need that luck perk. It doesn't do anything for you or your team. But yeah, you can get health, enchanted board, and luck, or you can have any of the weapons. I believe the weapons are kind of like, they have luck on them as well. So let's take a look at the ice gauntlet here. Yeah, keen, frost attunement, and luck. If we take a look at a bow, keen, frost attunement, luck. If we take a look at the blunderbuss, keen, frost attunement, luck. So not really the best gear, but if you do need some 700 gear score stuff for whatever reason, you could think of it as like 2 perks. I guess health, enchanted board, armor, 700 gear score is not bad actually. If you just think about it as 2 perk and then the 3rd perk's kind of wasted. You can buy the Gleamite as well, and I think that has a cooldown, so you can only do that once a week potentially. So yeah, you might want to consider buying the Gleamite. When you have it in your inventory, it does unlock the ability to craft these items as well. I think that mainly covers the bulk of what you can do in the winter event. There's some new skins that we've seen on the store as well. They have this polar bear skin. Again, I'll place some footage on the video here. You can see the polar bear skin with the silly hat. And there's also this reindeer skin as well, along with a bunch of other things, but you will need to pay real money for those. So maybe some of you guys are interested to see what they look like, but I guess that counts as content. Some people do like to see the skins in the store, so I thought we'd include it in the video as well. But yeah, effectively, Winter Warrior, all Gleamites, all presents. Make sure you do your quest, make sure you get your reputation, go to the trees every day because you can get gold. Make sure you get your bountiful gift sacks in the villages every day so you can get some reputation and again some more gold, and then buy what you want off the store. There are skins, there are emotes, and there is housing furniture available from the Winter Wanderer as well. So some people say you should buy some of the food. If you consume the food before you mine the Gleamite meteors, you can get extra Gleamite. I think that you'll get enough food from just interacting with the trees and the bountiful gift sacks, but I feel like that's worth mentioning in the video as well. And then finally, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about the future of New World and my plans with the game. A lot of people ask me, Baggins, what do you think about New World Aeternum? Has it saved New World? Now, again, for those of you who are brand new to New World, what do we mean by that? Well, New World has had a pretty turbulent history. It came out in 2021 on PC, had a massive spike in player numbers, nearly 1 million people online, and ever since then, it's just been like kind of downhill. You know, the player numbers have never really got back to that 1 million online. And for full transparency, I don't think it's ever going to happen again. I think nearly having 1 million concurrent is insane. It's still got a top spot on Steam to this day. It's in the top 10, above Baldur's Gate in terms of peak concurrent players, and Baldur's Gate 3, what a really, really good game. So yeah, that being said though, I do think New World Aeternum is a good showing for the game, and realistically, New World Aeternum is how the game should have launched. When we got the game back in 2021, this is what it should have been like right now. It's not perfect, but it is a perfectly acceptable starting point, and I think it's a perfectly good game for the $60 that they ask for the box price of the game. That being said, the game isn't finished. They are still adding more content, as we can see here. This is a sort of outline of stuff that we're going to see coming in the future. For me, I'm glad to see that there is a bit of focus on end game. You know, they're going to be focusing on things to do at max level with pickup wars, new PvP game modes, new mode maps, raid difficulty levels, new raid, new weapons, new zone, new trade skill. The question is, how long is it going to take them to get to this stuff? We're not entirely sure yet. Is this things that are going to happen in 2025, or is this even further on down the line? I do sincerely hope that they are able to get to this content sooner rather than later. In terms of what can we expect next month, on January 15th, we have Season 7, and we're going to get that PvP always on server. So we're still waiting for more details on this. Once we do know, I'll of course make a YouTube video for you guys. So if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe, and then you can be notified when that video comes out. We also get to see a new Outpost Rush map. OPR stands for Outpost Rush. And yeah, we've been waiting for a new map for a long time, so glad that we're finally going to get that. M3 is also going to become relevant. Right now, there's not really much reason to do M3. Just turns out it doesn't give 600, it doesn't give 725, it only goes up to 700, but honestly, M3 quite often can be harder to do than Hive of Gorgons and the Sandworm, so why you would do some content that's so hard for basically no rewards doesn't make any sense, but they're going to make it rewarding. It's going to give 725 gear score, and you'll be able to do it cross-server, which is going to be interesting to see how that works. We've also got some new daily soul trials. I don't think soul trials are really it right now. They just don't give like good rewards. They're just not worth doing. But maybe you guys enjoy the soul trials. I think it's like good to have solo content, but I just think they need to look at the rewards. Combat balance updates, obviously important. We do have new artifacts down here. And then finally, we've got the seasonal events and world bosses like we've got right now, where we have the winter event. We're also going to have the spring event, the corrupted bunny event, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a little bit of a look at the future of New World. I think the game is honestly just going to continue how it has for the past 3 years, in that it's not fully dead, but it's never like super alive either. We basically get one big update for the year that happens in October. That's when the game really booms and everybody's happy. And then for the rest of the year, people are kind of just a bit miserable and complaining about stuff. So I'm expecting more of the same, to be honest. But hey, maybe this roadmap changes things. Is there anything on this map in particular, or you know, any piece, any text that you guys see that particularly looks exciting for you? If you guys were in the captain's, position for New World Aeternum, what would you guys do going forward? I'm kind of curious what everybody thinks about New World Aeternum now that we've really had time to play it and see what Amazon have done with the game. With that being said, I think that's this ramble out of the way, chat. Just wanted to talk about, you know, current state of the game, what's coming up in the future, the winter event, and of course, the New World TV show. So make sure you go claim your Prime skin. Again, links to that in the description down below. Watch the episode if you haven't already and you've got Amazon Prime. Let me know what you guys think. But as always, I'll catch you guys all in the next video.